Thank you.
One final comment. Given your 30 years of experience in this particular role in your organization, obviously you would have a wealth of experience for us in the country. So considering that, and given the concerns that the committee has just raised for your attention, as you know, for me, I'm concerned that there's about approximately 300 million US dollars worth of gold that seems to be missing, that we can't identify as a country. We can't identify what's happened to this gold. So given your 30 years experience, I would suggest that you're one of our experts. What would you suggest to this committee in terms of what we can do to help improve this situation, not just for our alluvial miners and our landowners, but for the country as a whole, given your wide scope of experience in the sector? And you don't have to answer now if it's a very big question. You can take note and perhaps submit to us something in writing that we can incorporate as part of our report. We're not just here to ask you questions, we're also here to draw from your significant experience. So if I may say that in closing. Thank you, Mr. Negatel.
Chairman.
Governor Ipatas first, and then Governor Powie next with your comments. And then we can move on to the central bank. With the central bank, I believe we have Mr. Onea from FASU, and we also have Mr. Ogomeni, who's with the intelligence section of the organization. So it would probably be good to have you up here so you can give us your insights. But in the meantime, I'll hand over to Governor Ipatas and Governor Powie soon after, so that they may ask their questions, and then we'll wrap up with MRA and move on to central bank. Thank you. Governor Ipatas, please. Governor Rufina Peter will start first, and then Governor Ipatas, and we'll wrap up with Governor Powie.
Thank you. So my question is a bit similar to what Governor Bird has said, but specifically for the alluvial mining sector. So we were actually pleased to hear that as a country we have led in some areas in alluvial mining, and specifically in the area of the trainings that we conduct in WOW area, but also in terms of the practices at that time in those years. And obviously we now see that those practices have declined over time. Best practices have declined over time, and with it some of the consequences that we see at the moment and we're discussing here. And so I guess my question is really about, given your number of years and experience within the mining sector and within MRA, if you had to look at prioritizing the challenges that face the sector at the moment, especially for alluvial mining, I mean, taking into account the fact that this alluvial mining happens in areas that are so remote in this country, very remote parts of the country, where that is perhaps the most, the only reliable source of income for people in those areas that live in those areas. So having said that, and given your experience, number of years of experience in the mining sector, if you had to prioritize all of the issues or challenges that we see affecting, especially the alluvial mining community, what would you put as the topmost priority? And in terms of the reforms that are happening, what is MRA proposing? in terms of the reforms to address that challenge? Thank you.
I would say we just have to build the capacity within in-house to able to adequately address these activities. Capacity to get out there in the field, and there's report of illegal activities and such. MRI should respond quickly. Currently, we have officers that are ad hocly called upon to go and enforce or investigate and enforce. We should have a special group of people within the institution that enforces compliance with the law. If issues arise, we should be able to be there on the spot, investigate, find out what's going on, and put a stop to that. Currently, people are pulled from different areas of the MRA put together to try to investigate, and it does not work because they have other responsibilities as well, and priority is given to their duty statements and stuff like that, what they need to do. But it's an area, it's a big area that we really need to strengthen in-house to be able to respond quickly to instances of activities that are not, it's considered as not appropriate, not following the law. Yeah.
Just as a follow-up question, would establishing a mechanism, if it doesn't already exist, where you have all of the key players, stakeholders in regulating the industry, if you had a mechanism comprising of members of these regulatory organizations, where you have regular meetings, would that be, if it's not happening now, would that be a useful strategy?
Sorry, Governor, come again. I didn't quite get you there.
So if you, I'm just, as a follow-up, I'm asking, if you currently don't have a mechanism that exists comprising of all of the regulatory organized key stakeholders in this space, that you have regular meetings to keep each other up to date on what's happening, would that be a useful strategy going forward?
It would. We receive, complaints, issues all the time, and we try to address that as a group in regular meetings and that. But again, current staff that we have are already overwhelmed with their own responsibilities. So, as I said, we can have a branch or a division that deals with compliance alone would go a long way in addressing a lot of the issues that I have raised, illegal mining, all this. So, yeah.
Thank you.